Good morning all. Today, fun. Just fun. So I'm going to open this. What is it? It's an MJX radio control Technic. Oh, it's a nano-sized quadcopter. That looks pretty cute. Quite sort of bulbous. Almost like a bumblebee. So yes, quite a sort of fat little thing, a bit like a bumblebee. There's a hole on the top there. I wonder what that is. There's a USB, I think that's a USB charge port, little switch there. Little hole at the front. Oh, that looks very camera-like. And, oh, there's some dip switches there. Yes, 1, 2 and 3. I wonder what those do. Right, back to the box. What's under here? Ah, there's the remote control. And in there, I think those are probably prop guards. So let's get this remote control out, which I think is going to come out like this. Oh, it's got a display on it. Now, I know that this is an FPV nano quad, so the quad's got a camera and it actually relays live images back to the transmitter. Oh, that's going to be just so much fun. So this is an X series nano quad with first person view, 5.8 gig link I think between the camera in the quad and the remote control transmitter. Now this unit has been sent to me by Banggood. Thanks very much to Banggood, and for more details on my relationship with Banggood in relation to this product, see the description. Right, there's some detail here on the side of the box. It's got headless mode, 1 key return, 5.8 gigahertz FPV, so that's the frequency for audio-visual from the camera. It's got a camera. It's got a searchlight. It does 3D flips and rolls. 2.4 gigahertz is the frequency for radio control. And it has a lithium polymer 3.7 volt 250 milliamp hour battery. Now I think that's the one in the quadcopter. It also looks like there's a USB socket on the remote control. So yeah, as well as the USB socket on the quadcopter itself, there's also a USB socket, it would appear, on the remote control. And I think that's probably for an SD card, a micro SD card or a TF card. So both of these have internal lithium batteries. You don't have to worry about putting batteries in them. Lots of buttons on here in addition to the joysticks. Lots of buttons on the side of the display as well. I'm going to have to learn what all those do. These are probably for flips and rolls. These are probably the trims. But I don't know. I'm going to have to read the manual. This should be powered up, shouldn't it? Because lithium batteries... Oh, no signal. Oh! I wonder if I switch this on, what will I get? Oh, and I get a signal. Oh, that's fantastic. Where's the camera? There. Where am I? Hello! Hello! This is pretty nice LCD screen. I mean, it's got real sharpness to it. Yeah, that's really good quality. That should make FPV flying a bit easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought the screen was going to be bad, but no, this is pretty good. It's even better probably if I take that peel sheet off. Now the camera to monitor thing is causing moire patterns. Oh, that's better. If I could focus at about that distance, then we can see how many crashes I have. Right, I'm going to have to go away now for pretend flight here for a few minutes to read the manual and become acquainted with this thing. Yes, interesting. So I'll be back shortly, having understood how all the controls work and got a little bit of a handle on flying this quadcopter. See you in a few moments. Right, so this is everything that's in the box. You've got the transmitter, instruction manual, the quad of course. This is just a charge lead with a micro USB, and I presume that can charge both the quad and the transmitter, not at the same time of course. 6 spare props, so I presume that's 3 of each type, A and B. There's also a 4 gig flash card, which I can put in here, I presume in there, and record my flights. I assume that's what it's for. And then this is a USB to flash card converter, so that I can then put that in my computer and save the videos. Fantastic. I might even be able to integrate the videos that this thing shoots into this video. Oh, and I forgot to mention the prop guards. So I might as well fit these because I'm likely to hit lots of things, particularly if I'm flying FPV and not looking at where this thing is going. So yes, I'm going to put the prop guards on. Now, while I'm charging both these units, both have a charge light. This one has a little red light there. I think that goes out when it's finished charging. This one has a little red light under the USB socket. I think that goes out when it's charging. But let's switch these both on. That one needs a screwdriver when the plug's in the way. So I'm getting a live video feed from the camera. Now I can start recording. Actually, before I do, let me go through the modes. That's video record. You press this button and that snapshot record. There's a picture of a camera there. You press the button again and it's in playback mode. There are no files on the SD card. So let's go back to video record mode. Start recording. And that says rec. And the counter's going up. So if I wave at the camera, hello camera, and stop recording, which I think is that. Yeah, I believe that's done it. Then go into playback mode, which is there. And then I can play that recording. And I'm not moving, so that's definitely the playback mode. That's just fab, isn't it? I mean, if I'd had this when I was a kid, I wouldn't have bothered flying it. I'd have just played with the video recording and playback modes. They're really cool. Well, now that's interesting. I've just brought that video that I recorded into YouTube's editor, and if I play it, it has masses of white noise on it. I'll stop that because it's a bit noisy. Now I've just picked O Little Town of Bethlehem as a replacement audio track for it. So if I do that, it's quite a bit more civilized. But what's happening here is the receiver in the remote control actually receiving static. Does it in fact have an audio part to that receiver, and it's recording the file with video and audio, but just that the quadcopter doesn't have a microphone. So it's just putting noise into the audio part of the AV stream. Who knows? Interesting though. Right, let's just check the AV video stream with this diversity receiver. So let's switch on the quad. And that's got an image. Now that's saying channel B8. You can see that up in the top left. Let's do a search. That's D, band D. Right, that's picking it up on D7, so is it a bit broadband? Let's carry on the search. D8 has sort of got it. A1. Maybe it's just too near. Seems to be picking it up on all these channels. But B8 seems the best. 1, 6, 7. It's not 7. But it certainly seems to be B8. But in terms of audio, there's no sound, I don't think. There's no microphone in the quad. But yeah, it looks like it's on channel B8 from that. And I've discovered that these dip switches on the quadcopter are for setting the AV channel. There are 8 AV channels, 3 switches, so 8 different combinations. And on the remote control, the bottom 2 buttons on the right hand side are for changing the video channel This is not switched on at the moment because I'm still trying to charge it. Not getting on very well because I keep interfering with it. But yeah, these select the video channel. I think it's currently on channel 1. Right, well I just had a little fly and I did manage to control it, although of course the screen is a big distraction. I keep taking my eyes off it and looking at the LCD and trying to fly FPV, which is extremely difficult indoors because you don't know what height you're at. You don't really know whether you've got a tracking movement going. It's very difficult to assess whether the thing's flying, well, just hovering in one place most of the time. Of course, it isn't. The other thing I noticed is it's quite heavy. I mean, it does feel quite heavy. There's a lot of stuff in there. You know, there's all the audiovisual transmitting equipment in there. And so the performance in a vertical direction is quite limited. You put it to full throttle. I mean, you're flying it at sort of 3/4 throttle, it seems, most of the time. Put it to full throttle and it doesn't climb very quickly. Take the throttle off and it drops to the floor extremely quickly. So it does feel quite heavy. Well, now, of course, I've got to charge it up again. I think the manual says it takes about an hour to charge, so I'll have to do that. The light, of course, is fading now because we're in the middle of winter. So I'm not quite sure how far I'll get filming me flying this. That's always difficult, of course. But I'll just leave it to charge now. This is good. Look, it says rechargeable batteries are to be removed from the toy before being charged. And then on the other page it says, this product is not a toy. And in fact, this business about removing rechargeable batteries before being charged doesn't really make sense because this has no removable rechargeable battery. It doesn't seem. I mean, you'd have to undo all these screws to get inside this to get to the battery, I think. You just plug in the USB charge lead. Plug in the USB charge lead here as well. And the manual in the section for charging the transmitter just says plug in the cable. But for charging the model, it's very convoluted, and it's as though there used to be a removable battery and you just charge that separately outside of the model. But it just seems to have got very confused. It's about, well, I'll read it. Disconnect the battery wire plug from the power supply wire plug. Then connect the battery wire plug with the USB charging cable plug and insert the USB interface to any USB charging outlet to charge the battery. No, you just plug the cable in. The USB indicator light is on when charging and turns off once the battery is fully charged. Yeah, that's true. Full charging time is around 60 minutes. Okay, well, see you in an hour.